Star witness Michael Cohen spent another day on the witness stand in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York. He admitted to lying before Congress in the past, but he swore under oath that Trump approved a plan to pay off Stormy Daniels and conceal a sexual tryst right before the election. They didn't want that in the news. The prosecution finished questioning Cohen this morning. Then the Trump team got a turn and the fireworks flew.
National political correspondent Alex Miller was in that courtroom all day. Alex, let's start with the defense because it went strongly after Cohen during his testimony. How effective were they, though?
You know, that remains to be seen. They tried to get off on a really intense foot, calling out Michael Cohen about specific comments that he had made, not only about Trump, calling him a dictator and then a little bit of an expletive, but also the defense team itself. Quickly, the judge shut that down, calling a sidebar. They moved on very quickly after that. But what they spent the bulk of the day talking to Michael Cohen about was his profitability from the entire situation. They asked him if he enjoys fame, if that's what a priority is for him. He said no, but he did say that publicity is important to him. He went on to talk about, they went on to ask him about how much money he has made off of essentially talking about Donald Trump, $3.5 million talking, writing 2 books. He's got podcasts that have some 100 million downloads, other ways that he has made money. He's had numerous TikTok appearances on his own account. He said that making these TikTok appearances, making these podcasts, writing these books, all of these things, he says, has created a community. But Todd Blanche was especially frustrated with Michael Cohen over the course of the afternoon when he said he couldn't remember certain conversations that had happened just about a year or so ago, when he was able to remember much more specific conversations that happened much longer ago. But they weren't really able to nail him on really anything specific relating to these checks. Remember, the center of this case, Stormy Daniels, and the checks that were written to him, that were written and signed by Donald Trump himself, and the ones that said that they were made for a legal retainer. They have not gotten to that part yet. What we saw was evidence of merchandise of what Michael Cohen has been selling online. We learned about his jail sentence and cooperation with the District Attorney's Office. And he did admit on the stand that he wanted to see Donald Trump convicted. He said he wanted to see some accountability. But throughout this entire afternoon, Michael Cohen kept his composure. He certainly had a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder when he was answering Todd Blanche's questions than the prosecution, but overall, he completely kept his cool.
So, Alex, if the prosecution is in the closing chapters now, you said that the defense tried to nail him, maybe didn't. As we see the prosecution try to land this, does it seem like they nailed it?
Well, I think to a degree they did, because they are trying to portray Michael Cohen not as a liar, though in the defense's testimony they talked about numerous times that he lied, and the prosecution made sure to hit this in the morning testimony. Anything that we were going to see from the defense, we saw first from the prosecution. But again, the center of this case are those checks, and they had every single check back up on the screen this morning. They had the description of these checks as legal retainers, and so you had Michael Cohen meticulously going through these checks this morning, explaining that every single description was a lie. And then he was specifically asked this morning, well, why did you have these classified as a retainer? Why did you allow this to happen? Why did you build the invoice this way? And he said to cover up the story, either for Karen McDougal or for Stormy Daniels, in order to prevent the voters from knowing what they would need to know in order to make a decision in the days, weeks, and months leading up to the election. Now, he confirmed that he has cooperated not only with the District Attorney's Office, but also with the Attorney General, so that they kind of got out of the way this morning. They did ask him about working for Donald Trump, and he said it was a fantastic opportunity. He says he has no regrets for working for him, but that he does have regrets of what he did in the end, of the lying and of the bullying.
Well, and it seems like while the judge is asking, where is Alan Weisselberg? Can you get Weisselberg in here? We want to see Weisselberg. That everyone else is saying, is that Speaker Mike Johnson in the pew over there? Like these notable names are in there?
You know what's so interesting? Speaker Johnson came all the way to New York, made a statement here in the city, stood behind Donald Trump this morning as he addressed the press, but he actually never set foot into that courtroom. I have a lot of questions about why he came all the way up here to go sit in the overflow room. He confirmed to our producer, Sam Lisker, that he sat in the overflow room today. We did have other politicians there today. Lara Trump was there as well of the RNC, obviously Donald Trump's daughter-in-law. But Speaker Johnson never actually went into the courtroom today.